The quality of indie games is rising so sharply that these small development teams are gunning for some of the greatest games ever. And this time we have one that is very close to our favorite old settlers. Fabledom though is a mix of more than just production chain gameplay elements from the settlers, as there are plots of land to expand to like in Foundation or City Skylines, invasions and town building from the kingdoms and castles, and even some mini love stories between characters like in Dear Princesses and Princes. It all adds up to a very zen playing experience, at least in the demo, which doesn't have combat, but it does have pigs with wings, a potential love interest, several production chains, and the cutest village and town building gameplay I have played in forever. The full game, of course, has a lot more content to offer, and the developers plan to spend some time in early access on Steam to add some secrets, more creatures, quests, and events. Right now, we start with choosing one of the procedurally generated maps, play mode, realm to play in, are we a prince or princess, who is our potential mate, and our name. After that, there is the whole storybook intro, reminding me of Shrek and similar DreamWorks animation fairy tales.
Once upon a time it goes, a story told of love and woes.
Then we get to enjoy the beautiful sights and sounds of the game world, which really does look like a land from a fable. Achievement unlock, game name checks out. This is where we get one plot of land, some resources in it, and a few townsfolk, the mini tutorial tasks and rewards helping you grasp the gameplay and its basics. Starting with a laborer's hut, we learn about workplaces and how to manage workers in our fledgling kingdom. I also love the mini video tutorials embedded into the game, showing you exactly what and how to do as you learn to play. Most things cost some resources to construct, be that gold, wood or stone. I enjoy the way homesteads are constructed most of all, because besides the main house, you get to create a custom yard and even choose the extra improvements in it, which have different benefits for the new homeowners. I have to give special praise to developers at Grena Games for the clear, simplistic and yet somewhat artistic user interface. I'm sure they will add some extra flair to it as they continue development, but right now the utility and simplicity are perfect. It took me very little time to get several homesteads built, a well dug out and a road network set up. The farm building took a rather unexpectedly large amount of space for all its fertile plots of land, but I may have overbuilt those to the limit and didn't even need that much considering my low population. Watching the townsfolk plant the seeds was quite satisfying, just like seeing the first plants grow. Other folks chop wood and use the beautification to spice up the look of my town. This is about the time I got my first love letter from a potential mate from a distant kingdom. It was only an introduction, as I had a lot more stuff to construct and set up before I could go onto this element of gameplay. Looking a bit deeper into the little townsfolk, I found that they have two stats for me to keep track of at this point: hunger and happiness. Hunger is solved with more food on the table, of course, but happiness is more complex. Improvements in homesteads help to some extent, but there are buildings which reduce or increase happiness depending on where they are constructed and what homesteads are in their range. Springtime looks amazingly abundant in Fabledom, but the other seasons also have their own flair. This is about the time I noticed my first few very pink pigs with small wings. Reaching a population milestone unlocked more buildings for me, and with those, deeper and new production chains. After that, I found out that other buildings, besides homesteads, can be edited and more functions added to them, like a forester to a lumber camp to help regrow the forest I was cutting down. Stone was the next resource I needed to start extraction from a convenient rock deposit close by. I do agree everything is almost too easy and handy in this game, but that is the idea, to enjoy building, making folks happy and secure, enjoy a few love interests as you grow your kingdom. With this, I started to unlock more options, like an overview menu to see how my townsfolk are doing, what social class they are, where they are working. Because besides peasants, there are also nobles. Next, I learned about unlocking nearby square territories, which hold new resource deposits, but also some ruins, which probably lead to events and encounters, but those were not part of the demo. The more I played, built, and managed, the more relaxed I felt, meaning that the game truly achieved its objective of being a laid-back city builder. Just the fact that I, an obsessive micromanager, spent a lot of time choosing and placing decorations around the town instead of trying to min-max production of my resource chains and productivity of my folk tells you enough about the relaxation designed into this game. Winter was the first thing akin to a real challenge, because I was running out of coal to keep the folks warm and happy in the snow and cold.
Did you ever notice that they never put on winter clothing? That seems reckless.
This brought back some urgency into the game, as will the future combat when we played the full game. There were also a few events where my decisions influenced my nobility, and of course there was the whole courtship of a princess in a far-off kingdom, complete with flowers, love letters, and even rudimentary diplomacy. I thoroughly enjoyed all the sights and sounds Fabledom had to offer in this limited demo, and I warmly recommend it to you. For more similar upcoming games, use the cards on the screen. Thank you for watching and happy gaming!